Can we get some frames? No, apparently not. Frames, we're not going to get frames today. Okay. Well, we're connected to everything at least. There's something else I can quit? Thank you for your patience. Starting 10 minutes late. That was not the plan. I think I'm up and running with electricity now, which is cool. Hopefully that won't just, give out at some random point. There's nothing to quit. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe that's what's killing me. Back up in sync. Okay. Well, today, it's been quite a week. I'll give a quick update on myself. I've if you watched last week's stream, obviously I'm in a bit of a things are shaky for me right now. Got very lucky. January rent has been paid, which is great, so I'm not getting evicted anytime soon. And I've been spending a lot of time at the Austin Clubhouse that I talked about last week. That's been going well. I saw Spider-Man yesterday. Spider-Man was awesome, by the way. Really good. Definitely leans on like 12 other movies. So if you are not already like dead set on watching it, it's probably not for you. But none of that has to do with what we're going to be talking about today. Man, wow, I really am late because I still don't have any viewers. Today, we are going to talk about an idea that I have around improving the logistics and really more the response time of FEMA, F-E-M-A. I've probably talked about this before. So FEMA is the United States Federal Disaster Response Administration. I don't remember what it stands for. I don't really care. They're often criticized for being ineffective. Ineffective. There it goes. I'm looking at the transcription. And so I've kind of thought about like what we could do. Like my experience with the Texas freeze made me think about what needs to be done in terms of being like an official or an efficient support group of some kind. I mean, this isn't just FEMA. Mutual aid can leverage as cities, towns, counties, states can all leverage this same thing that I'm about to talk about. But I think it's really necessary for FEMA because FEMA comes in when the biggest disasters happen. So the idea is to have a contact or several contacts in every community, just like in a database, and like so, and to have when disaster strikes. So how this would work? So let me give an example. So like somebody from FEMA or local mutual aid or whatever level goes to a community, like an apartment complex, once a year, and just knocks on a bunch of doors or leaves some flyers or whatever, and is like, hey, do you want to be the point of contact for this community, for this apartment complex, for this subdivision, for this condo complex? And you get a couple people to sign up, and then they go through some kind of virtual training, like, hey, here's what you do, here's the phone number that you can call, here's like, they'll send you like a fridge magnet and like some stickers and whatever, like a little kit, little like cheap, like it doesn't need to be expensive. And then you're in that database, and then if disaster strikes, you can call the FEMA hotline, and you're already in the database. Like you might even get like some ID number or whatever, or probably just register your phone number. Honestly, it's probably what's best. And then you can report and say, hey, here's what's going on in my complex. We're doing well. We're not doing well. You could have an automated dialer where like you rate, on a scale of 1 to 5, or 0 to 5, like how well your community is doing in this particular disaster. And so that then they would have the data that they need to gauge, as well as they would be able to call back on you if they needed help. Like if they wanted to survey different communities and see how they're doing, they could call like the representatives effectively, like just, and they're self-appointed, right? It's just whoever wants to volunteer for it, to say, hey, here's what's going on, here's what's happening, to ask, how are you doing, and if a particular community in one area is doing fine, but there's another community that's really struggling, FEMA could call on that community that's doing really well to go help the community that's really struggling. This was a huge problem during the freeze, was information. That was the biggest problem that we had with mutual aid. Mutual aid is what saved the town. It wasn't some outside entity. Like I had the same experience. FEMA didn't do crap. It was us saving each other's butts. My butt got saved, and then I turned around and saved others. That's what happened. But the reason that my butt got saved is because I was responsive, is because like I understood the system, and I was like on top of it, and I was like contacting people, and I was like making connections, and I was like making calls, and I like already like I already had a relationship with like the local apartment or like renters union kind of thing, which like there was one other person in my apartment complex who did, and she didn't speak English. And so like we got clean water and food delivered, and like a whole bunch of free food delivered to my apartment complex before anybody else. And I don't want to say before anybody else, but like earlier on. And the mutual aid people came by and I was like, hey, I'd love to help. And so then I was out there for the next couple of days helping out and driving water all over the city and setting up water cubes and doing all these things. And it was like I was just getting in contact with the right people and just doing stuff. And it's like, not every community has that person. Like that's the thing that I want to highlight is like, or like, let me rephrase that. It's not that not every community has that person. It's that like people will step up if you ask them to, but you have to ask. If you don't ask, people oftentimes don't step up. But if you ask, people oftentimes will. You have to ask, and the ask is simple, right? This is a very simple, easy ask. Do you want to volunteer to be a disaster not coordinator? Like you come up with whatever fancy term you want. But you, like, do you want to volunteer to be a point of contact for your community in the case of disaster? And look, it ain't for everybody, and that's okay. We only need a few people per community to do that. And I think that could be really, really effective because now you have information, right? And you can disseminate that information all over the place, right? So if you have several contacts in every single community, now you can get that information to FEMA, right? Now somebody in each community can like dial in the hotline, like, do you have clean running water? Do you not? and you can like press 1 or 2 or whatever. Like, do you have electricity? Do you not? Or does only part of the complex have it? Or it's in and out or whatever. And so it's like, and then that information can get disseminated to local mutual aid. It can be made public. There's no reason that information needs to be private. That could be public information. And so then we now have connections all over the place, and then we can call people, right? Even like mutual aid, like we can just connect virtually with FEMA. It's all digital, right? It's all, we don't need cell phones and stuff. Like we don't need their physical presence. We can just get the information from FEMA that we need, and we can leverage that existing system that is already in place to connect with people. I think that would be. I think that this is like just makes all of the sense. Like going around to every single community in the country like is real tough, but like it's also a great jobs program. Like it's a thing that we could do. Like this is totally within our capabilities is the point that I'm saying. And this would do so much. Like this would have so much practical good. This would be such an incredibly like worthwhile investment. This would be like the bang for the buck would be astronomical. Right? Like there are like helplines and stuff, but like I think that this kind of way of thinking about it, of like having this extra level specifically for disaster relief to be prepared, is crucial. It is critical, particularly because disasters, the rate and severity of natural disasters and other kinds of disasters continues to increase and will continue to increase for a while. So look, that's where we're at. This is just an idea that I've had, that I had a while ago, when I was thinking about after my experience with Austin Mutual Aid, and just how like we just didn't know which communities needed water. We had water, we didn't know where to bring it. And so yeah, that's what we did. That's what we were doing. It's an information problem. And so this is, I think, obviously like this requires us to have, a government that is like competent with logistics and technology, and is willing to actually like pay the money to like hire the right people to do it and incentivize them to like stay with it and like troubleshoot it and keep it up and running. Like it's an investment, but it's a worthy investment for sure. So that was all I had for today. I just wanted to share that idea, really. But put it out in the ether. Again, thank you for your patience. Apologize for being so late today. So a short stream is only about 13 minutes long. But I think that's it. I think that's all I've got for today. But I am doing a cool new thing. Every Tuesday, I am hosting a Google Meet, like a Zoom, where public, where anybody can come and ask questions about voting method reform, and to me, or whatever other experts that happen to be in the room at that time, almost kind of guest starring, and get a personalized answer from a human being who is talking. And that's really, really vital, really, really important, because sometimes finding the right information on this stuff, navigating around, can be difficult. Sometimes the information you're looking for is spread across multiple different sources or multiple different sites, and it's hard to find what you're looking for. And sometimes that just isn't in your wheelhouse. Sometimes that just isn't the type of, like, that's just not in your skill set, and that's okay. And that's the point, right? Is that like, I want to fill in that gap for you. I want to be there for your support, no matter what level you're at. If you're just learning about voting method reform, or if like you're on the fence between STAR and approval and you want to have like a better, or you're trying to figure out why, if you love STAR, you want to figure out why some people are still going for approval, or if you love approval and you want to figure out why some people are going for STAR. Like, I can help to balance that, right? If you want to talk about election codes and stuff. So here's where it is. I'm going to put the links in the chat here, or I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can sign up. It's every Tuesday evening. Here we go. So it's just, I got a short link here, bit.ly, bit.ly/askaboutvotingtuesdays. All those words are separated by dashes. Boom. In the chat, here it comes. Twitch, YouTube, and is it going to go to Facebook? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You can see it on the right side of your screen right now, over there. Actually, it's probably like down lower. Yeah, but so you can go to that link and you can add it to your calendar, and you can ask me about voting reform. I'd love to talk about it. You know, whatever you got, and that's it. That's all I've got. I'm going to try to advertise that a little bit more this weekend, get the word out, try to get more people in. I want to like actually have. I want to have open discussion. So it's not very structured. There is a code of conduct. So let me do this. There's a code of conduct. It's just the Equal Vote Coalition's code of conduct. So I will grab that link. I don't have it readily available. Hang on. Equal vote code. Yeah, it's just equal.vote/code_of_conduct. I'll put that in the chat too. So that is what I'm leveraging. I'm following that code of conduct. I'm moderating everything. So if I decide to kick you out, too bad. But yeah, glad just got a viewer. Right, it's about to finish up. Well, I was just saying on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, I host open meetings where anybody can come and ask questions about voting reform, and I will give you a personalized answer out loud. And I will also probably share my screen and show you examples and show you the sources where I have stuff from, and so you can see visuals as well. And it'll be really free-flowing and easy. Come as you are, bring friends, invite people, go to the links in the chat, and I'd love to see you there. But other than that, I appreciate anybody who did stop by today and listen to my ideas about improving the logistics of disaster relief and FEMA, and having points of contact in every community in the country connected to a central database for to be prepared for disaster relief, and just to pass information around. That's the main bit. It's the information. It's filling in the information gap. We're in the information age. We can do it. All right.